All right, we have our Pilates Yoga Express class today. So this is 30 minutes. We'll do 15 minutes each of Pilates and yoga. If you have a preference to just do Pilates or just do yoga, since it's 30 minutes now, just let Ellen know. But I can do the fusion too if you prefer that. So it's your workout. Just let me know if you have any preferences, or let Ellen know actually. So we're going to start with our Pilates. Let's start by standing in our posture just to get ourselves aligned, tall, extended, and feet under hips. Start to engage your inner thighs as though they were going to draw in toward one another, but not actually drawing them in. Engage the core, lift the rib cage up, roll the shoulder blades down the back, and let those palms fall open in our Yoga Tadasana mountain pose. Back of the head over the back of the spine. That will level your chin with the floor. Deep breath. Close your eyes on the exhale. All right, nice reset. Let's come down to the mat to start our Pilates series. We'll start by laying on our backs with our feet on the mat, feet hip distance apart. Tuck your shoulder blades under to open up your chest a little, palms down on the mat. We're just going to inhale, exhale into a pelvic tilt. Inhale, roll that pelvis forward. Exhale, flatten the belly button to the spine, flatten the spine to the mat. Inhale. So use your diaphragm from inside your torso to push all the way down. Push, push, push. Inhale, let the belly relax. Exhale, use the diaphragm to push the air out of your lungs and push that back down to the mat. A few more breaths. All right. Let your spine come to its natural curve, so you're not flattening it down to the back. Push your belly button down to the spine without pushing your back down into the floor. So compressing that body, compressing that core to really engage those muscles. We are going to start with a corkscrew, which is a bit of a challenging move, but a fun one. So lifting our legs up into the air, our corkscrew is we lift up and twist. Lift up and twist. Press the palms into the mat. Lift up and twist. Lift and twist. Nice job. Keeping those shoulders down on the mat if you can. Really pressing the palms down to keep yourself stable. Trying to use some control here. So instead of flinging up and flopping down, lifting up and rolling down. Up and twist, up and twist, up and twist for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs up here, legs up, reach forward with your hands. We're just going to do a hold here. We'll do 100s at the end, but let's just start with a hold here. Hold, hold, hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can, keep your head and shoulders up off the mat. Just slowly lower your legs down. Slow, slow, slow. Slow, slow, slow. Control till the very end. And let it go. Nice. We're going to do some side work. So coming up into a side plank, you can be on your elbow or on your hand. I think I'll be on elbow today. We're going to be on the bottom knee. So straight line, elbow to knee. Lift yourself up. You can have your hand on your hip or up above. Lifting that top leg. We're going to touch front, touch back. So rainbow that leg up and over. lifting that bottom hip from below. You can always rest the hip on the mat if this is not working for you to be up in this plank, if it's hurting your elbow or your shoulder, or you're just a little tired today. But if your hip is up off the mat, trying to lift it high, high, high in the air, touch front, touch back, touch front, touch back, touch, touch, rainbow, rainbow for 4, back, 3, back, holding on to your core so that your core doesn't collapse to the front. We're not doing a contraction in the front. Last one, and touch. Hold that leg up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Coming to the other side. Get set up, straight line, elbow to knee, hand on hip, hand in the air. Lift that hip up off the mat in that plank position. Touch front, touch back, touch front, touch back. Nice. And again, strong and straight through that core. No bending in that spine. Touch front, touch back, touch front, touch back. Nice job. Resting that hip on the mat if you need to. Touch back for 4, touch back. 3, touch back. 2, touch back. Last one, touch back. Hold that up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do some back work. We're going to do a cobra with an arm reach. So on your mat, legs in full contact with the mat, feet a comfortable distance apart, tops of the feet on the mat. So your legs are engaged, they're not flopping open. Pressing those feet down into the mat, coming up into our cobra position. So in the cobra, we're protecting our spine by holding onto the core. If you don't hold onto the core, you get a real collapse here in your lower back. You're gonna just straighten that spine by engaging your core from below, lifting up through the shoulders, tap front, tap. Alternating hands, tap, tap, tap. So really using your core to control that hip roll side to side, protecting your lower back by engaging your core from below. Your lower back is working here. It should feel like work, but it shouldn't feel like pain. Tap, tap. If it feels like pain, just come to a static cobra, holding here, lifting up from below with your core. Tap for 4, 3, 2, and 1. One arm, front, back, front, back, front, back, lifting up through that supporting shoulder, not collapsing down into the shoulder for 4, 3, 2, 1. Other arm supports, tap with the other arm. Lifting up, up, up in that shoulder. That will lift your body tall. You don't want to be collapsing. Core lifted from below, belly not resting on the mat, but lifted up into the spine for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Lift to lift from below. See if you can lift your hips off the mat by engaging your core super strongly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I was getting some nice little shake in my core there. I hope you are feeling it too. Let's come into a boat pose for some butterflies. So we have many, many options here. First option, fingertips down on the mat, pointing toward the toes, feet on the mat. We're going to do some butterflies. So if you're in this position here, super strong straight spine. We're not collapsing back into the spine. Super strong straight spine. You have your arms for support. You have your legs for support. Next, feet up in the air, hands down on the mat. Again, butterfly or full expression of this boat. Arms up off the mat. Again, tall, straight spine, straight line from your tailbone to the top of your head. Keeping these butterflies going. For this, I would prefer that if you are having a hard time keeping your feet off the mat, that you just put them on the mat rather than support yourself with your legs, because that will interfere with your butterfly motion. Nice job. 4, 3, 2, we're not done. 1, arms in the center. Now, instead of keeping our feet attached, we're gonna open our legs. Still that same bend in the leg, but full open of the leg. Big, big beat of the wings here. I guess this is more like a robin than a butterfly. Beat, beat, holding on to that core, pressing that belly button into the spine. Tall, straight spine from your tailbone up to the top of your head for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Sit it up. Straighten that spine. You can bring your feet together to give a little stretch to your hips and your quads. That one was a pretty intense move. Let's come to our plank variation before we do our 100s. You can be on the plank in your hands or your elbows, definitely elbows if you have wrist issues. You can be on your knees if you're on your knees. Straight line from knees to shoulders. If you're on your toes, straight line from heels to the top of your head. Either way, we're not dropping our head. Head remains lifted. And all we're doing is rocking front, rocking back. On our toes, if you're on your knees, just a really small motion. If you're on your toes, a little more motion. Rock. Feel how the difference in your center of gravity engages your core in different ways as you move through this. Back, front, back, front, back. If you're up on your hands, really strong through those shoulders, feel like you're rotating your elbows outward, not actually moving them, but feeling the muscles engage as though you were pushing your elbows out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Sit up, roll those wrists. One last Pilates move before we move into our yoga. We are going to do our 100s. So laying on your back again, you can have knees at 90 degrees or legs straight up in the air. Roll your head and shoulders up off the mat. C curve here. Head isn't collapsed or drop back, and we'll beat the air with our hands. 10. Try to have an even inhale and exhale. 20. For me, I find 4 breaths in or 4 beats in, 4 beats out works best, but find your own rhythm. 30. 40. 50. Recommit to head and shoulders up off the mat. 60. 70. 80. 90. and 100. Grab the inside of your legs or your feet for a little happy baby stretch before we stand up to start our yoga sun salutation. You can rock back and forth, try to bring those knees all the way down to be level with your shoulders, aspirationally, of course. And holding onto those feet. Oh, I lost them. Sit up and come to a standing position. Let's start our sun salutation. Let's reset again to that standing posture. Feet hip distance, lift up, engage, roll back, back of the head, over the back of the spine, 2 breaths. Open your eyes, inhale, arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, let's just go back down to that fold for a couple of breaths to get a little stretch in. You can grab a yoga toe hold of those big toes. Let your head drop down, super heavy weight. Working to keep your knees mostly straight. I am hyperextended, so I always have to keep a tiny bend in my knee. I do not want to hyperextend. On your next inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms on the mat, step back into your plank. Full inhale and exhale here. Inhale again, and then exhale, chaturanga down. You can drop your knees to the mat, or you can be on your toes, elbows hugging your rib cage. Float up into a cobra or up dog. If you're in up dog, you can press the tops of your feet down into the mat, roll your shoulders back, core pushing up from below to protect that lower back. Legs, the only points of contact are your feet or your hands. And now push back into down dog. Again, a nice stretch here. Right leg up in the air. Step it forward between your hands. Press the left foot. Turn, rotate it. Press the outside edge into the mat. Come up into our warrior 1. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale to warrior 2. Make sure you can see the big toe on the inside of that knee. Not letting the knee collapse toward the center. Flip the hand, the front hand up. Reach back to our peaceful warrior. Top arm into the sky. Bottom hand above or below the knee. And coming into our extended side angle. Tuck the elbow inside the thigh. And reach, 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 looking under that top arm. Bottom hand strong, open to the sky. And palms down to the mat. Step that right foot back. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. 1 breath. Left leg into the air, step it between those hands. Rotate the right foot back, up into our warrior 1, hips facing front, shoulders facing front. Gaze level, palms to heart center, open to warrior 2. Floating down on your exhale. Flip that front hand, coming up into our peaceful warrior. And our extended side angle, tuck that elbow in, bottom hand strong and open to the sky. Gaze under the top arm. Nice stretch here. Big length, reaching that top hand forward, forward, forward to get the length in the body. Palms to the mat. Step back to the plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. We're going to come into a lunge series here. So another breath or two here in down dog, pushing your shoulders back in space, dropping your head further between your arms, letting your heels float down toward the mat. And now lift that right leg up, inhale it, exhale it between the feet. This time leave those back toes on the mat and rise up into our crescent lunge. Hips are forward, back heel pressing back behind you. Press, press, press. Back, your left leg, that knee is straight. Your front leg, trying to float down deeper. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Super tall here, engaged core. We're not leaning over this front leg. And in one fluid motion, we are going to come into a standing split. So we're going to try to bring those fingertips to the mat, step that back leg into the air, drop the head down, lift that back leg as high as you can. If you'd like to work on your balance, you can bring one hand to your leg and then the other, resting it lightly. I think I'm not great on balance today, so I'm just going to keep my fingertips on the mat and focus on height and stretch. On an exhale, bring those toes back to the mat, stand back up into your lunge. Bring your palms to heart center, and we're going to do a twist to one side. Trying to keep those palms at heart center, not letting them creep up to the top, lifting up tall through that bottom shoulder. You can have your gaze up to the sky if that works with your balance. Palms back to the mat. Step that right foot back. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Take a moment to rest here. If you need to come down to child's pose to rest before we do the lunge on the other side, please feel free to do so. And if you have taken your rest, come back up to down dog. Lift that left leg up, step it between the hands, right toes stay down on the mat, lifting up into our crescent lunge. Pushing that heel back. Gaze level, chin level with the floor. Dropping those shoulder blades down. Nice. Really good, you guys. Super strong pose. I love it. In one fluid motion, reach your fingertips forward, lift your back leg up off the mat into this standing split. You can challenge your balance by bringing one hand to your leg and then trying the other. Or keep your fingertips down for more support if you want to work on stretch. Step back into that lunge. Lift your torso and arms back up. Finger palms to heart center, twist to the front. And I should have said you can drop that back knee if you'd like more twist, but balance is a challenge. Untwist, Palms to the mat, step your right foot up to meet the left, forward fold, and a slow inhale and rise, roll up, roll up. Head last, roll your shoulders back, open your palms. Let's do a quick tree pose. We already did a little balancing, but what's a little more balancing? You can choose your foot. I'm going to start on my right foot, palms to heart center. Lift up the toes of your supporting foot, set them down one at a time. Feel that straight line from your heel up through your hip. We're trying not to pop our hip out to the side for balance. Engage your core and resting that other foot on the leg. You can have toes on the floor, foot on your calf, or foot above the knee. Just no pressure on your knee. Tall, tall, tall. If you feel comfortable with this, open up your branches to the sky. You can lift your gaze up to the sky as well if you want a real balance challenge. Feel your alignment, feel yourself lifted, tall, 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 not letting any part of your body collapse for better balance. Palms back to heart center. Set that foot on the ground. You can rotate the other ankle to give it a rest. Getting set up on the other side. Lift up all the toes, if that left foot or whatever the other foot is. Palms to heart center. Press your palms together. That gives you a better balance because it gives you more points of contact with your body. Find a comfortable position for your other foot. Again, straight line from heel up through the hip. And you can grow your branches and direct your gaze to the sky. Palms back to heart center. Set that foot back on the mat, roll the other foot. Nice. Shake it out. Let's do a quick triangle before we come down for our Savasana. So your feet are going to be at a 90-degree angle, but very separated. Heels about in line. So front left toes facing forward, right toes facing out, or vice versa. Hips very square though, not turning toward the foot that's pointing out. Arms up, lift up tall. Reaching to the side before you bend over, reach, reach, reach. And when you can't reach any further, let that bottom hand collapse down, reach down toward the leg. I like to have my palm open and my hand on the inside of my leg to give me a better alignment. I can use that pressure to open that bottom shoulder more. Or you can rest your palm wherever is comfortable for you. Top arm still strong, giving you a good oppositional stretch here. So both arms are engaged. Gaze up at the top hand. As you exhale, see if you can slide your hand further down the mat if you're not already down at the mat. And lift up with that top hand. Switch your feet over, 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 over to the side before you reach down. Feeling that strong alignment of your shoulders parallel to the wall. That top arm, it's easier to let it fall forward, but we're really trying to open, and that opening comes from the bottom shoulder, not the top shoulder. It's easier to push from below than to pull from the top. And exhale, let that fingertips slide further down the leg if you can, while maintaining your alignment. Lift up with that top hand. Come back to feet hip distance. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. One last time through our vinyasa. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Stretch out that back, stretch out those hamstrings, stretch out those calves. And when you've had enough good stretch, just walk your feet up through your hands, coming to lay down on the mat. Letting your feet open comfortably, your legs a comfortable distance apart. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath to open your chest, palms up to the sky, eyes closed. Let your breathing and your heart rate slow. It's nice and breezy today, a good day to fly a kite. So you can imagine yourself either holding on to the kite string and feeling it kind of tug your hand and your body one direction or the other, or you can be the kite. Fly through the air, just following the air currents, seeing where they take you. Keeping your eyes closed, roll over onto your side, using your arm as a pillow. Move to the fetal position. And now push and roll yourself up to sitting. Eyes still closed, palms at heart center. Inhale to straighten your spine. Exhale, we'll do a contraction like we did to start our Pilates practice. Inhale, contract, exhale. Big inhale again. This time straight spine, lift palms to forehead. Inhale through your third eye, your center of intuition. Your reminder to trust yourself. And as we exhale, you can join me in a bow if you would like. Namaste. All right, thank you everyone. And as I said at the beginning, now that this is an express class, please let Ellen know if you want to keep yoga Pilates, if you want to do only Pilates, only yoga, or something else entirely. Thanks. Thank you. Have a